hear me now? Hey. Okay. Now can you hear me? Because this is what happened before. Okay. Woohoo! Alright. Now wait. Somebody says yes and somebody says no. Maybe people are behind the time. This is the same thing that happened before. Okay. I sound like I'm in a cave. Yeah, but it's like you're talking through a can, though. What the heck? This is so freaking frustrating, guys. And I have a mic that plugs into the computer that I'd have to go find. When I tried with my headset before, it messed up. Alright, let me go jump out and I'll try to... It's all good, just keep streaming. Okay. I'm sorry. See, this is what happened last week when I went live. Okay? And I just had to take everything off. Fishing trucker, thank you. That's my internet boyfriend. And he has an internet wife that we just decided we were going to all be, like, together. And, now Elite says it sounds good. Okay, so anyway, I've been trying to think about what I want to do with Prime and my career and everything, because being out here for 6 years, it's kind of a long time. Okay, so he turned his volume down on the phone, so he said now it sounds good. So thank you guys. But Twisted Big D, for those of you who don't know, he is a PSD instructor, which means he is actually a CDL instructor, which is a different training than what I do. I get the people who train after they have the license. He trains them with the permit. And I've been thinking about doing that. I've never done that before. What do you think, Twisted? You think I'd be good at that? But it gives me a little bit more time to not be on the road, if that makes sense. I can pick up a student and run with them for a week or two and work with them on the pad, and then be kind of like centralized back in Springfield or Pittston. So I've been thinking about doing that. Not really sure if I want to yet. We are in the same rainstorm. It's so neat. Oh, thank you, Ivory. Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, where are you now, Twisted? Are you in Springfield or are you in Pittston? Because I mentioned in the other live feed that I was going to go buy a house outside of Springfield. So I'm coming in for the driver advisory board meeting, June, like the weekend of the 10th through the 14th. So if anybody has any questions or comments they want me to go take care of, problems, whatever, I'll address them at the board meeting. But you know, it's kind of like you start to want something of your own. Like, I do live on the truck. I would like to be able to, you know, as it is, like, I go back into the terminal maybe about once a month, once every 6 weeks, something like that. I throw my truck in the shop and I meet up with friends and, you know, try to have a normal life. But, you know, I think it would be nicer to be able to do a pad training type of thing, or do PSD where more central. It's not a good time to buy a house right now. Interest rates are low and prices are going up and there's a bid war and everything. But I was going to build a house, and for what I wanted to spend, building the house actually is a nice thing. And I kind of figured I would keep it. It's not something that it's not something that I would get rid of, you know. I mean, and honestly, is it crazy I look at all the prime trucks I pass out here to see if it's me? No, but thank you. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate that. It's kind of funny because I look for other people too. Ozark. Yeah, I was looking at some developments in Republic and Stratford. Would Prime let you make videos if you were doing PSD? That would be an awesome side to see. Actually, Twisted Big D. Go click on him and subscribe to him. He makes videos, and he's a PSD instructor. If you want a place to call home. Yeah, I mean, there was an apartment complex that's really, really nice in Springfield that I've wanted for a long time. And I almost, after I talked to the loan officer and everything and talked to the realtor, that's when this place I've been on the waiting list for popped up and said, hey, and then I turned them down. But there's a place that's right next to Prime right now that if I wanted it, I could just put my money down right now and move in July. So I'm on the fence, you know. So Twisted Big Z says, yes, they let them make the videos, but they don't let them make the videos of the pad. But you guys still do practicing out on the road, or do you not go on the road anymore? Like when I met you, you were going from one terminal to the other, so you live in Bonne Terre. Where's that at? That sounds like Louisiana. I go all over, but you have to tell me highways and exit numbers. That was something that Elite was just saying in his video the other day. He's like, I know all the highways all over the place. I know the truck stops and everything. Oh, it's in Missouri? Well, tell me your highway. But I've thought about buying some land and living off the grid in Missouri. I love the Missouri area, especially near Table Rock Lake area. Yeah, see, I know it sounds crazy, but one of my dreams was to just go buy a houseboat and move to Aruba and write my books. I haven't written anything since I've been driving. I just don't have the time for it. So I write magazine articles here and there, but I don't really, here's somebody coming over to my truck. Let's see what they want. No, I don't know what they're doing. Sorry. I'm always searching for some nasty person that's going to try to do something. Hi, Slim Shady. How you doing? Slim Shady was at Schneider. Now where are you at now? Because the other day you said you did reefer for a little bit and then said the heck with that. So what's going on? I don't even know what's going on in the world. I haven't bothered to look. Elite did his video about that bridge on I-40 down in Tennessee, West Memphis area. No more drama, hi. I don't know who you are. So nice to catch me live. Well, that's nice too. Except, would you believe, I did have some drama today. I was over on my friend Michaela's channel. You guys might want to go check her out. I'll Be a Mother Trucker. I just put on the comments, oh, you're showing so much cleavage that the guys aren't even paying attention to what you're saying. Now, some guy comes at me and then starts yelling at me. You can just tell, oh, well, you were offensive and you just called me a dog and I don't appreciate it and you need to show respect to gain respect. And I was like, first off, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you were offended. I'll have to try to remember that there are people who are easily offended out here and some people are more fragile than others. And then he was like, well, he said something about me being old and fat and whatever. Yeah, okay. And he's like, well, you need to earn respect, to, give respect to earn. I was like, I didn't ask for your respect. I didn't ask for anything from you. And it's just ridiculous. And he's like, oh, well, I'm not gonna talk to you. Okay, don't talk to me. And I'll say it with a smile and laugh in your face. Don't talk to me. Oh, you're working with a friend who has a car transport business. That's interesting. Are you liking that? How long have you been doing that now? Okay, I'm one of the ladies that you've been chatting with about Prime. Okay, cool. Whatever happened about the load and the other driver? Well, I needed an empty trailer. His trailer was empty. He had a dedicated route. So, Prime tells me this guy is 2 miles south of me. He winds up being 50 miles north. Can't even tell me that he's north. He's like, well, I'm on Highway 43. I'm like, yeah, so am I. I'm like, are you north or south? He's like, well, I'm not sure. You're not sure? You're the one that freaking drove there. And I'm like, did you make a right out of the Walmart or a left out of the Walmart? It's like, come on. And I kept asking him. That was just insane. I'm sorry. And then he tells me I'm being difficult. Ma'am, you're making this much more difficult than it needs to be. No, you're not telling me where you want me to meet you. He couldn't give me a town. He couldn't give me an address. He couldn't give me the name of the freaking gas station he wants me to meet him at. There's a McDonald's, but he didn't know where. This is one of the reasons why I like being on a truck by myself, so I don't have to interact with other people that can act like this. Hi, Scott. How you doing? Where are you at today, Scott? That's one of my CFI guys. Barry, how are you today? Interstate 55. Oh, okay. Yeah, I go there. We'll wind up. Remind me or something. Send me an email. One day you have a blonde wig, today you're a brunette. Yep, that's right. That's right. Who was it that was Man of 1,000 Faces? Boris Karloff? Yeah, well. I guess I'm Boris. Boris Karloff. I'm probably showing my age, too. How many in here actually know who Boris Karloff is? But, you're on your way to Michigan. Oh. I went from Michigan to Wisconsin. Now I'm going down someplace else. And I keep hearing beeps and beeps. That one sounded like a Prime message. I don't know what that is. But my fuel mileage was really good this week, so I'm going to make some good money. Woohoo! Do I put cameras on the outside of my truck to see what's going on? No. I don't. I know some YouTubers that do that. I mean, if you're asking about being able to, see around me, really, if you use your mirrors properly, all three, the top, that bottom one, and then the hood mirror, you pretty much see everything. It's not like driving a car. It's funny because when I wound up going back to driving a car, I felt like I couldn't see anything. Being a truck, you're so high up that you can see so far ahead, and then the only thing you can't see is, the rearview mirror. But you don't have the blind spots like you do in a car. So I went back from trucking went home and went to go drive my Mustang. And I was like, holy crap, I can't see nothing. I wound up selling that car. I never really drove it again. Gary wants to know how Maureen's doing. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know. She sent me pictures of her truck when she got it. She sent me a picture where the truck she got lost its power steering in the blue beacon, which was not good. I'm sure that was frustrating. And then she sent me a message that says, the struggle is real. I'm getting it done, though. And that's kind of, I wound up with somebody else after her. He was a subscriber that had written to me, and so I had him on the truck for a little bit. I know I said I did him, and I know somebody's going to say something nasty about that, but that's not what happened. But he was on the truck, and he did okay. But there are some people that just don't have the urgency in trucking. They don't realize you have to try to, you're on a schedule. It doesn't matter when you stop and when you park and when you sleep and when you eat and when you shower, as long as you make sure that you're going to have time to make that delivery. And there are some people that come into trucking thinking, oh, well, this is it and this is great. And I'm a YouTube celebrity. No, I'm not. Trust me. No, I'm not. No. And I don't have any friends because nobody likes me because I'm too blunt. People ask me something and I'm just like, well, this is the way it is. If you don't like it, oh well. I try not to say things like that on the channel, but I do have a friend that keeps trying to get me to like open up and tell a couple people, screw you, because they've been a little nasty to me in some live feeds lately, and it might be coming to that soon. Trucker John says I'm not that blunt. Yeah, see. Oh, you watched my video on time management? That's cool. I appreciate that. But it is. Time is money. So I had this student, and he was a really nice guy, but he would drive for like 90 miles, and then he would stop off at the truck stop in the fuel island, run inside, go grab some food, grab a bunch of drinks and stuff, and then, come back. I'm a well-known YouTuber. Well, thank you, Beetle. So are you. Wesley, thank you. Westy Brigade. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So, he just, when you do that, especially if you just jump out the truck and you don't turn yourself off duty, because while he was inside going to the bathroom and going and buying stuff and things like that, he'd be inside for 20 minutes to a half hour and then come out, and he was eating up his drive time and his on-duty time by never turning himself off duty. And that is a huge, huge deal. There were some days that he stopped so long, I'm supposed to be sleeping. So what happens when you're teaming, and people don't understand this about teaming, they think, oh, okay, you're just run. Yes, teaming can be a good way to make some extra money, but it depends on who you're teaming with. If you get somebody who it takes you an hour to go to sleep, and this person only drives an hour and a half and then they stop, just the force of slowing down and pulling the brake noise and everything, it's going to wake you up. At least it does me. I guess some people don't wake up from it, but it wakes me up. So, I just felt like I did not sleep while this student was on the truck because he was stopping a lot. And there were times that I was really, really exhausted, but I had to go drive. I was never unsafe, let's put it that way. If I really couldn't drive, I wouldn't drive. But there were times that I didn't need to be that tired if he would have been more concerned about time management and doing, getting the load done, getting the job done. And when I tried to discuss this, his answer was, I used to be a rush kind of person, and I'm not doing that anymore. Which is fine, but there were times that I wound up starting my clock where I thought originally I was going to have extra time to try to get rest and get some sleep. I started my clock earlier, and he didn't drive as long because I was afraid I wouldn't make the load. And in all this time, I've never been late, so I'm certainly not going to start now for a student that I don't know. All my students know your channel, but I have to be like, what about mine? Oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry. You know what, Twisted? We'll set up a time where maybe you and I could do a live feed and we can talk about what it's like the PSD, what the PSD program's like, and then I can talk about TNT and that sort of thing. And maybe that'll help you. John says he was practicing to be a super trucker. Oh, no, I don't put cameras. You know, I keep saying I was going to buy a drone, and I'm like, I get all these gadgets, and I can't really operate them. People think, oh, you're a YouTuber. I'm a truck driver that's trying to learn all this gadget stuff and all the YouTubes. Is asking Dysprosium, can you turn your on duty off and on throughout the shift? Well, yeah, because what happens is you're driving, so you're on duty. But if you park to go into the truck stop or go to the bathroom, you're not on duty anymore. So you press a button to change the computer to make you off duty. And then you have a different one that's sleeper. So if you're in the back of the truck, which mine is a mess right now, I'm hoping you can't see it. If you're in the back of the truck, it doesn't matter if you're reading a book or watching a movie. If you're laying down in that bed, you're supposed to be in the sleeper. Like up front, like me right here, right now, in the passenger seat, I'm off duty. But on duty is stuff like pre-trip inspections, and it's on duty, not driving. Because people don't think about that. There's a lot of stuff that we do that is not driving. People get really confused, and they think that this is so easy. And it takes a lot to learn. I have people that will say to me, well, I want to stay teaming after training till I feel comfortable. And it's like, you have to learn the trip planning. So if I'm pooping, I need to be off duty. Ha ha ha. He made a duty on duty. But the reason that you want to be off duty for those types of things that are not work related is because it allows you more drive time for the end of the week. And if you use it all up, which is what this guy was doing, so I actually added it up for him. The amount of time that he wasted on duty status, sitting in the truck stops, running into the bathroom, going to the rest area, going to the bathroom, going to grab eat, it cost him between like $300 and $400 a week. That's what you want to be concerned with. That's your money. And, you know, it seems like it's a really huge adjustment when students come out here because they're trying to learn so much. They're trying to get used to being in a closet with a stranger. They're trying to get used to new highways, a new truck. Every truck's different. If they go through the PSD permit phase with one truck and then they come to another truck, it can be completely different. And sometimes, like if they don't have trainers for the CDL instruction, Prime will put them in a flatbed. Well, some of the flatbeds have shorter trailers, so the backing might be easier. The turning, you know, even the distance that you're looking in the mirror, you have to get out adjust it when you go from like a 48 foot to a 53 foot. So, you know, and there's tricks that, guess what, when you're in the flatbed, there's little reflectors on the front of the front corners. So when you're looking in the mirror, it's easier to tell if you're drifting when you're going backwards. It's easier to tell if you're drifting in a flatbed. Little trick. Oh my gosh. Okay. For those of you who don't know, there's this crazy guy named JF Trucker, and he's on drugs. I'm sorry. There's just no way about it. So he's sending like Elite all these different weird pictures, and Elite found pictures on Snapchat, and he's like naked and playing guitar completely naked and had different things on him and stuff. And so Elite sends me these pictures, and the guy has like a mask on with the filters and things like that, and he sends them to me and says, neither one of these are me. Well, thank God. Thank God. Every time you stop, you lose so much time. All the little stops, slowing down the stop, going in, plus getting back up the speed. Yep, it's like 15 to 20 minutes. Yep. I don't know. Twisted, did you do TNT? I thought you were only doing PSD. But yeah, I mean, and you got to remember, the mega carriers like us, we're not special like some people I know in here. We're governed. So a friend of mine that's in here, he went flying past me at 76 miles per hour. He had to slow down on the highway just so we could wave to each other and not be a blur. Yeah, only PSD training. Okay. So, Marito, if you don't know the difference, the PSD is with the permit. That's what he does. Once you get your CDL, you come to a T&T trainer, which is what I do, which is trainer and trainee. PSD stands for Prime Student Driver. But, T&T training can be really difficult even for the trainer. It's hard for the student, but, it sounds weird, but at least the student can relax when they try to go to sleep. A trainer really can't. And it takes a lot of time for me to get the trust. Low permit holder here. There's nothing low about that. Trucker John wants to know, am I from the Northeast? Yes, I am. I thought you knew that. My point about having enough clock to get to the next load after delivery at the receiver got me interested in managing the time. Yeah, it's like today. Okay, I got parked here at this rest area last night. My delivery isn't until 1900. So I'm only 2 miles from my customer. Now, some people will be like, oh, I'd rather be at a truck stop, whatever. But I got food and everything on the truck, and so what'll wind up happening is I have a pre-plan that I'll go make the delivery, then I'll go stop around like in the middle of my shift and go, shower someplace for an hour or two, grab something to eat, and then I'll get back to rolling. So by the time I park in the morning, there'll be lots of empty parking spaces open. I am actually from New Jersey, from the Philadelphia area. I am the first person in my family that was born in Jersey. Everybody else was from South Philly. So I got this Italian South Philly mom who's like really stubborn. Really, really stubborn. I want her to come move to Springfield and she won't. So everybody say, Mom, move to Springfield. Maybe it'll help me. Oh, okay. So Twisted did T&T twice. Wait, I saw somebody said something about the automatics. Has Prime addressed their autonomous trucks? No. Officially, I don't think so. I mean, autonomous trucks, I'm not worried. Trust me, the people out here can't drive. The people around us can't drive. The technology on this truck, on any of these trucks, doesn't always work, so I'm not worried about it. When I was at the post office, they told us that we were going to be totally shut down within 2 years, and then at one point it was 2 months I wouldn't have a job, and they built these facilities that were completely run by machines. They called them lights out facilities. This is back in like 1998. There were 3 of them in Florida. The only living people that worked in these huge buildings were the mechanics. Well, it became so expensive to keep hiring mechanics because the machines kept breaking down that they just said the heck with it. I am not worried about autonomous trucks at all. I can understand that, the concern for a trainer. It's one of the reasons why I started training. I want it to be there to help people. I don't want people out on the, to be alone out there. If you email me, I do give out my phone number to everybody. I take calls from people 24/7. If I'm really that tired, I'll turn the phone off. So text me if it's really, really that important. Usually when people go new and they're freshly solo, I'll put them on like a priority, so it will ring even when I say not to. You need to add stuff to your CDL to pull multi-axle trailers and things like that. Yeah, you need to, there's different things, endorsements they call them, that you can put on your CDL, and one is hazmat and one is tanker, which most companies are going to require you to have tanker because we pull liquids in totes, and the liquid has this surge, they call it, from bouncing all around. Don't you love how I just did that? Like, yeah. But, so even Prime, if you're, like, I have reefer, but I have a tanker endorsement. The triples and the double trailers, you need an endorsement for that. So, you know, am I ever going to use doubles and triples? Probably not. It's just not a job I'm interested in. But what the heck, have it on your license. I'm just frustrated. I'm so slow getting started. Why? I mean, you're slow getting started. How? Because guess what? I know, I can tell you. At Prime, I applied on a Saturday. They approved me and sent me a ticket to come into the office on Wednesday. I was in New Jersey, and I applied on Saturday, and I was on a bus to Springfield the following Saturday. So, things happen really fast out here. And, some companies, like CFI, I have friends at CFI, so I know their procedure pretty good. There's 2 different locations, 2 different schools that they'll send you to. So, CFI pays for you to go into the hotel, and then they give you transportation to the school, and you'll be in the school, I think it's 3 weeks, and then they put you side by side with a trainer for 3 weeks. So, and then you go solo. Well, at Prime, we do it differently. So you're usually with a CDL instructor making deliveries a lot of times. So, like, I did 10,000 miles with my permit, which I think was cool. So, do I wear flip-flops? No, I don't, because I think feet are ugly. And I don't care. People are going to say, well, I get my manicured. Ew. No, I don't like feet. I think they're ugly. I don't want people to see my feet. Plus, people's feet smell. Ew. Keep your smell to yourself. Does Prime allow you to use the COVID exemption? I'll be honest with you. We got a message a long time ago that said use it if you need it, but I've never used it. Can't promote mom moving if she... Oh, can promote mom moving if she cooks me some good Italian food. No, can't promote her. Okay, sorry. I have the only Italian mother in the world that never cooked. She just never cooked. Sorry. No. You don't want her cooking. Trust me. No more drama. Here's the deal. If you wind up with a trainer that's really, really bad, first off, you need to report them to Prime, because Prime needs to know about what's going on. They can't see in the truck. They have no idea what's going on in the truck. We have, you said you're a woman, so we have a female driver liaison. And if you contact her and say, look, this is what's going on, or I don't feel comfortable with this person, or, this person is not safe, they are going to get you off that truck. They are going to get you a different trainer. That's just how. How do you find out about approved medications? You really can't. Sorry. That sounds harsh, but they'll pay for you to go get a DOT physical, and at that time, you'll wind up submitting your medications, and a doctor will determine what medications Prime finds acceptable. I don't know. I do know people that took things for anxiety, such as trazodone, which is non-drug, like addictive, and they were told they couldn't use them, you know, so they had to go and change. Elite says, I'm training a prime driver now. And who is that, Elite? I think he's talking about me, guys. Yeah, see? Wash them dang feet. That's what I say. Oh my God, really, Twisted? You get manicures too? You get pedicures too? You deal with weirdos no matter where you are. You know, when I first started the post office, I would wind up saying, you know, I'd meet somebody my first week. I met this guy and I'm talking to him. He's showing me how to do the job. And this other guy comes up to me and says, be careful with him. He's at the top of the list of most likely to shoot up the building. So then that guy, the second guy, walks away, and this woman walks up and says, oh, be careful with him. He's on the list to shoot up the building. They actually had like a list. It was like a, what do you call it? Like a pool where they were betting on who was going to wind up most likely to shoot up the building. It was crazy. But, you know, when it comes to trainers, there are great trainers out here. And there are bad trainers out here. It doesn't matter what company you go to. And you just, you know, if you really have that much of a problem, you see how to contact me. My email's on the thing. I'm on Instagram. I'll give you my phone number, like I said, and you contact me and we'll work on it. I've had people removed from trucks within like 20 minutes when they came to me and I reported back to Prime to the correct person, because sometimes people go to the wrong person. You know, I had somebody say to me, oh, well, Prime sucked. I had a problem and I left and I went home and I didn't even make it past orientation. And this person didn't go to the right person. They went to the person that was running the computer department and not the person that was running the training department. And it's like, you have to go to the right people, you know. And so that person just thought, oh, well, he's just venting. He's just bitching. She never thought, oh, well, this person actually needs help. How does a newbie know what a good trainer is or isn't? What are the top three things to look for? That's a really good question. You know, you can learn from a bad trainer too. You know, that's something that I have gotten questions for. My concern would be safety issues. If you really don't feel safe with this person, there are people that get road rage that you might feel physically like, yo, I don't trust this person. If you think that their driving is not good and you really feel like, oh, you know, I don't feel safe with this person because he's sitting there watching videos, you know, there are different reasons why somebody might feel unsafe. I mean, I had somebody that just out of nowhere, the trainer starts smoking. The trainer had stress at home and just started smoking, and the student was like, well, I wanted a non-smoker. Well, yeah, I was a non-smoker last week. Well, no, those are unacceptable. You know, not showering for days at a time is unacceptable. That's a big one. You know, I take training very seriously, so I rotate shifts. And some people don't like that. Some students will be like, no, I need to you know, I need to be on a schedule. Well, you're not going to be on a schedule when you go solo. Schedules are good for teams, but you're not going to be on a schedule to go solo. So good, in my opinion, a good trainer is going to rotate your shifts and get you used to city driving and night driving and, you know, day driving and take you on back roads. One of my first loads, the first load I take everybody on goes down this horrible road in Missouri that if anybody in here knows US 65, it's twisty, curvy, going through traffic lights and going through hills, and it just sucks. And I take them down to 40, near where Elite lives, and then go across 40 down to I-24 over Mont Eagle, which is like a 6% grade. That's 4 miles. And so they get to learn the downgrades and how to drive down a hill. You need to know that. And then I take them through Atlanta. And the whole time they're doing the driving. And, you know, that's the first thing that I have. I actually have a curriculum, you know. But every trainer is different. Every trainer has different things they want to work on. I think if you get a trainer who doesn't want to answer your questions or explain something to you, that's a bad trainer. However, I had somebody call me. I love my friend Chris. He's awesome. He's been here at Prime for 2 years. I got to meet him when he was testing out. It was really cool. We talk a lot. And he's now a trainer, which is awesome. But, you know, he called me up in TNT, and he says, this trainer is terrible. He just sucks. And I was like, why? He says, well, he doesn't give enough following distance, so the truck is going beep, beep, beep. And then, you know, he's taking curves too fast, and he got a critical event, and he was backing up into a dock, and he didn't get out and look, so he hit the next truck. And so, I mean, it was just one thing after another. He's been late twice, and he gave me all these ridiculous habits that this guy had. And I said, now what you learn? And he says, what do you mean? I said, you just told me you need to increase the following distance. You need to leave earlier so you're not going to be late. You need to get out of the truck and look so you don't hit anything. You learned how to file an accident report, and it wasn't even your accident. So even though this guy sucks, you've actually learned a lot. You've learned what not to do. You know, are there trainers that are going to want to just use you for the miles? Yes, absolutely. Yes, there are. If somebody tells you there's not, it's a freaking lie. Don't believe them. And maybe they're one of those trainers. I don't know. But there is a really good support system here. You just have to look out for it. I don't think any Prime YouTuber out here would tell you no, they're not going to help you. Driver lineup, his name's Eric. If you go over onto his page, he has different social media. He has a Discord. He has some kind of app. I don't know what it is, Mighty something. But it's an interactive thing that it's all Prime drivers, and we're there to answer questions for everybody. So, you know, I'm coming to Prime on the 7th, but I put Blizzy Bake down. If you know who that is, I think he's good. Yeah, he's good, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get him. I mean, what if your trainer is a woman with a penis? I had a trainer who is a woman with a penis. And what bothered me, that didn't bother me. What bothered me was that because she was an owner-op, she didn't want to waste the fuel to always find someplace with a bathroom. I personally, as a trainer, think when you need to park or you're in between loads, you need to go to the bathroom. You know, as like somebody who's just... Guys can just go out in the road. I'm sorry. But as a woman, I want a bathroom. Does Prime have a female-to-female training policy, or doesn't it matter whether it's a female or male? When you go in, they have you sign a paper saying which gender you would accept. So if you say you're a woman and you only want women, that's all you're going to get. And it might be a little bit of a line of a wait. It's the same thing with smokers. So if you want a non-smoking female, and there might be a longer wait for that, or even if you wanted a man who was a smoker, you know, it's whatever's available, and they'll put your preferences at the top in order of that. Okay, Ivory Johnson, I see you said really, but I don't know what you're talking about. Slim Shady says, I ask people for help occasionally, vice versa. Everyone is willing to help each other. That's the truth. And for any women in here, I honestly get more help than the guys get. I'm sure some of the guys in here will tell you that too. You know, don't feel if you're a woman that you're just going to be like treated like crap. When I talk to mechanics and stuff and I tell them, hey, this is what my truck is doing and this is what I think it could be, they don't just dismiss it. They just go, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'll check that out. You know, especially if I tell them, hey, you know, this headlamp keeps blowing. And last time there was a little wire in the pigtail that was making they had to replace the headlamp wiring. You know, if I tell them that, then expect a call from the police officer. Kearsey said it's okay to take a leak on the road. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I said, guys, do it, and they could do it, and I'm not. Oh, and that could be really unsafe. Like, I did have a student once that would, like, even on a road that didn't have a shoulder, it might have, like, 6 inches of a shoulder or 8 inches of a shoulder, and he'd go, like, pull over on the side of the road and not even put his house. Yo! No! You just passed the rest area. There's a Love's in front of you. You know? Go to the bathroom. Hello there, Brandon. How are you today? Where are you? Does Prime have a terminal in Dallas? No, we do have a drop yard there, though. It's not a terminal. And it's not even our drop yard. It's one of those that we rent the space from somebody else, so it's not like it has showers and, you know, laundry or anything like that. But it's a place to drop off a load and go home. But when it comes to, like, going home, it's not really a big deal. We have freight everywhere. I saw a Prime driver tell another, somebody who was inquiring, where he was like, oh, you know, you'll be good in Texas because, you know, we have freight there. And no, we have freight almost everywhere. I mean, wherever you're at within our hiring area, a company is not going to hire you if they don't have the freight to get you home and get you back from the road. CFI has a terminal in Dallas. CFI has lots of terminals. I have a funny story about Dallas. Okay, in Dallas, there's a Flying J, a TA, and then 2 Blue Beacons. Right? And being from the north, I had no idea what frontage roads were or service roads, and I came out of the Blue Beacon, and I made a left-hand turn thinking I was going to go back to the truck stop. It was night, and I had no idea I was on a road that was a one-way road, and I was going in the wrong direction. And I'm like, oh, crap. And I went, and I had to go turn in. You've seen local day cabs in Dallas before? Well, maybe intermodal. We have intermodal all over the country, and they are now in day cabs. We also do have some day cabs that are not necessarily terminals, but they're running from dedicated customer to dedicated customer. I don't know where they park the trucks. They probably leave them at the customer. That's my guess. Yes, I do drive reefer. How does Prime's vacation work? If you're a company driver, you earn your vacation by the miles you run. So if you're in a full-size truck that has the bunk on the top, like I do, you're looking at 125,000 miles, and you get a week vacation. Like, I've been here 5.5 years now. I don't even know how many things I've run, but so I get 3 weeks vacation. I get a week of sick leave. If you run the lightweights, which are the smaller trucks that don't have the cabinets, they kind of have storage up above your bed, then it's 85,000 miles. You get a week. Hey, there's driver lineup now. So you guys go click on him and go subscribe if you don't know him. Eric, I was just saying that you have the social media that would help people when they have issues. Because we had a couple questions about bad trainers and what do you do and that kind of thing. But Prime needs to have a terminal in Maine. No, I'm sorry. We don't have a terminal in Maine. We have a terminal about 500 miles away in Pittston, Pennsylvania. We do have a lot of loads. We have a lot of freight up in Maine, though. We have a lot of freight up in Maine. Yes, it is illegal to urinate in public in lots of places, and some states will not charge you with public urination. They charge you with indecent exposure, and you can wind up with, like, a sex crimes charge. How does it get paid since you're paid by the mile? It's a $700 a week flat rate. Hey, Starwin, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it out there. I appreciate you stopping in. Figured he was being rude with the female penis thing. We need a drop yard at Amarillo. Yeah, we're in Amarillo a lot. I did a video today that went out today about chasing around a trailer. I don't usually chase trailers around. The past couple weeks have been pretty tough with trailers. Atlanta area has sucked for trailers. Do I think driving your personal vehicle to orientation is worth it? Absolutely not. Don't bother. You're not going to be using it, and then you won't be able to get back home. Seriously. The way it worked for me and for a lot of people, you go into orientation and you're there for a few days, and then you get on a truck and you go over the road with the instructor, and then you come back and you test out, and then you go back on the road for a couple months with a trainer, and then you come back and you get your own truck and you go. So, no, it's totally not worth it. You know, I wouldn't bother. Oh, Ivory Johnson. Yeah, we're friends. Yeah. I think they were talking about you, Elite. You said something nasty. Ew, don't. You get stuck without an empty in Atlanta and you're screwed. And that happened to me last week where I wound up making a drop and hook to my receiver, and I was told to take an empty from there, from Atlanta, go drop that off in Savannah, and then bobtail down to the yard in Auburndale, Florida, which for me as a company driver, I'm like, woohoo, ka-ching, because there goes my fuel bonus, up, up, up. But I got to the delivery, and the guy said to me, I already have loads for all of the trailers, the empties that we have here, plus I need an additional 28 trailers, so they wouldn't let me take a trailer out. There you go. Twisted Big D says don't bring your car to orientation because long-term parking is full. Can you put me down as a referral? Sure, please do. I appreciate that. My driver code is ROTWKI. You can put Kearsey. I have a link down below that you can go click on, or find my email and I'll send it to you. Unless you're really close to your home terminal. Truth is, though, with us, the home terminal doesn't even mean anything. You know, people think, oh, I have to live near my terminal. No, you don't. I live in Jersey. My terminal is Missouri. You know, we drive our trucks home, and as company drivers, we actually get paid when we go home for the load that we take going home. Not all companies do that. So here's an example. A lot of times I'll drop my trailer off in Pennsylvania or North Jersey. So if it takes me 100 miles to get back home, I get paid that 100 miles plus whatever it is to my next pickup when I get back on the road. So I won't see that in my pay right away, but my very next delivery, the miles that it took for me to drive home get added to my next load. No, it's ROTWKI. There. can I rent a car for orientation? Will Prime help with the price of the rental? Prime is trying to hook people up with enterprise rentals, because we do have an account with them and we get discounts. One of the problems right now, though, is that it's really hard to get rental cars. It's really hard to get new trucks. The productions of the cars and the trucks have been delayed due to a parts and microchip shortage. So it's been an issue, and it sucks. Yeah. Jenna says hello, she's driving. Hi, Jenna. I appreciate that. But, so they will reimburse you. But I also know that, like, last year, a lot of the rental cars, because they weren't using the cars, they were trying to sell off the cars, they didn't order new cars. So some of the cars, the fleets do not want their car going to another state. They want to keep it within their fleet. Okay, so here's Scott, and he said, I get paid going home because I drop all my loads home at our drop yard that's 2 miles away from the house. That's awesome. Not everybody does that. They were offering $300 towards a rental a couple months ago. Yeah, you'd have to talk to recruiters about stuff like that. Because honestly, with the way COVID's been, things are changing so fast, and I don't want to give out bad information. I mean, like you say, live 20 miles from Springfield, do orientation there, would make sense to drive your own car. Well, yeah, that would make sense. But honestly, you'd need somebody to go take the car back. Because, once you go out, you're not coming back for at least a couple months. So do you really want to leave your car out in a parking lot for a couple months instead of in your garage at home? Gray dogs are running. Oh, gray dogs. Greyhound. Yeah, Greyhound's back to running. Now that COVID's lightening up, things are starting to change. But I just saw on the Prime video that they moved the Greyhound terminal. It's not right down the street from us anymore. So they'll figure out a way to get shuttles back and forth. They always do. But Enterprise is charging Enterprise is charging $300 to take it from one state to another. That's actually cheap, because back when I was going to do it, it was $600. But I don't know if it's a lot of times it's a difference from where you're going to where you're going. So, like, for New Jersey to replace that car, it's more money, so therefore they probably charge more. How long do you have to stay with Prime if you get your CDL through their program? If you're a veteran, veterans are 9 months. Everybody else is 1 year. There are other companies. CFI, my friend in here is from CFI. He runs dry vans, so if you're interested in that, you can let me know, and I'll hook you up with him. He can answer questions. Rail is 150,000 miles. So that's going to take somebody, probably your first year, probably a year and a half. You're not going to make 150,000 miles your first year just because you don't have the time management skills. So it's going to be, longer than that. Yeah, that's what I said, 9-month contract. Somebody's calling me right now. Alright, this is actually somebody who needs my help. So, I'm going to go, and you guys have a great day, okay? Talk to you later. Bye.